So you see, I never really liked being alone. I hated the feeling of being alone. I dreaded that feeling. I always wanted to be surrounded by other people, and I always wanted to be surrounded by new information. I just couldn't live with my own mind, with my own thoughts for more than several minutes. I always felt as if my mind and my thoughts would just consume me, and that it was a negative thing to even let my mind wander off sometimes, that I should be bored every once in a while. I thought that being bored and having nothing to do was a bad thing for so long of my life. And so I was very much motivated at that time to just fill any extra time with social media, video games, junk food, porn, movies, shit people. A bunch of horrible habits that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten into. And so I was scared of being by myself. I was scared of filling my own mind up with my own thoughts. I was scared of listening to myself. And so I just let all these kinds of other bad habits that would just give me a mindless distraction get into my life. And that is when things got worse. That is when I spent more and more time around people who just simply validate me the way that I was, and just simply give me feel-good advice and feel-good stuff, wishy-washy bullshit that you hear everywhere. It's fine, bro. Just take some time to just chill, man. Take some time to relax every once in a while. Don't be so hard on yourself. No, waking up early is bullshit, bro. It's for stupid people. Discipline is stupid. I'd hear that on a daily basis and I felt good. Because I knew that I was not a disciplined person whatsoever. I could not wake up in the morning early for the life of me. I could not exercise by my own initiative for the life of me. And so I liked being around people who just tell me all these kinds of validating things, which would just help me stay in the same position without any kind of change. But then, you see, as I started self-improvement, as I initially quit video games, as I discovered the entire world of self-improvement, I realized that I wanted something more for myself. And so I started quitting video games, and I started quitting the things that were really taken away from my life. And then, this was back when the summer break just started. And so I was in the summer break. I had just finished 8th grade, so I was going off into high school, and so I was not going to see most of the people in my school again. And I was in summer, and I remember that being as a period of partial solitude for me. That was the period in my life where I felt partial solitude, where I felt as if there were a lot of things that, a lot of social factors that would have otherwise been at play, they were missing. I was not meeting my friends and at all. Even in school, I was not in school. I was in the summer break, bro. I just wake up in the morning, and this is the interesting part. As I was in this period of solitude, I believe that this was the period of my life when I felt the most motivated, the most driven, and the most clear-headed I've ever had been to that point. I had never been more clear-headed and more aware of myself up until that point. When I was away from all these kinds of social factors and all these kinds of other distractions. By this point, I quit video games completely. I quit masturbation completely. I quit social media. Almost, more or less. I quit junk food. I quit all these distractions, movies, TV shows, none of that. I was by myself and myself only. I'm here, and where I live, it's filled with nature around me. There's just nature everywhere. It's a very quiet place, right? And so I'd be here, waking up at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, going out for my morning run, and then coming back, exercising, and then reading outside. And then writing for my fictional story. I literally started writing a fictional story. It has like 25,000 words now. I did all of these productive things while I was in that period of solitude. And I remember that period of my life with so much gratefulness and happiness. That was the period in my life where I learned that being by yourself, being alone sometimes, is a truly beautiful thing. It's absolutely amazing. You know, and a lot of people, just like me, they would go against it and they'd be like, hell no, fuck no, there's no way that I'm being alone. And I have something really interesting to tell you, man. There's a study out there in which a bunch of people were, they took part in the study, out of which 67% of the men and like 25% of the women that were involved in the study, which it was kind of a big study, right? Instead of, they were given two choices, right? 67% of men, which is a lot, and 25% of the women, which is a quarter of 100, right? They were given two options. One, you sit in solitude for 15 minutes and you do nothing. You simply do nothing. That was the option. You just sit on your ass for 15 minutes. 15 minutes and you don't do anything. And two, you get to skip that by applying an electrical shock. And those 67% of men and 25% of the women, they chose to apply an electric shock. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. 67% of men and 25% of those women, they were rather preferred getting shocked, getting like an electric fucking shock, instead of spending 15 minutes in silence. And this was like an electric shock that they all tested before the study, and they were like, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. It's pretty damn uncomfortable. I don't like it. I'd actually pay you not to do that anymore, right? That's what they said. And then they literally administered that shock by themselves because they didn't want to spend 15 minutes in solitude. How fucked is that? People don't want to spend 15 minutes in solitude. They'd rather get fucking electrically shocked. Like, this is absolutely mind-boggling, isn't it? And I would have probably, at that time, I would have probably been one of those people. But now I'm more than happy and I'm so fulfilled just being on my own. And I want to talk you through exactly why that is. I want to talk you through exactly how those things, how solitude especially impacted my life and how it's made my life so much better. And so, this was the time in my life where, again, you know, I started quitting all these kinds of addictions that I had, right? And so I was spending more and more time just without any more extra distractions on my mind. And this was right when I was starting self-improvement as well. By simply not being around those friends that I used to have, by simply not playing video games, by not eating junk food, by not doing all of those bad habits, and staying away from the social aspect of a lot of things. Like, I didn't really go out that much. I literally just stay indoors or outside, and I just exercise or read and write for my story, or I don't know, whatever else. But I wouldn't do anything else. And through this time in my life, I remember feeling the most accomplished and the most fulfilled that I had ever felt up until that point. There was not a single point in my life where I felt more at peace with myself than back then, when I was simply doing the thing that would have made me go crazy several months before. If several months before I would have done the same thing, I would have probably fucking gone crazy. I'm not even kidding. If people cannot stay 15 minutes in silence and they'd rather like administer a pretty damn uncomfortable electric shock on themselves, then imagine like 2 or 3 months of solitude, of partial solitude, because I still had my family around, I still had my loved ones. But there was no more of those stupid distractions in my life. There was no more extra validation for people. There was no more stupid shit. And so I was left by myself with just nothing else on my mind but my own thoughts. The thing that I dreaded the most. My thoughts, my opinions about the world, my beliefs, everything. This was back when I felt the consequences of the trauma that I was inflicted with. This was back when I just left the bullying scene, which I was being bullied like every single fucking day, and like for more than half of the day, right? I'd be literally socially outcast. I'd be like I'd be threatened to be stabbed in school, right? By people who were, I think they were capable of genuinely getting so fucking angry that they pull out a fucking knife and stab me. I was getting that shit almost daily. I mean, the stabbing thing almost daily, maybe like the beating up thing almost daily, and the bullying thing like daily. It was it was a fucked up time, and that left me with some underlying trauma that I felt a while after. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd have these thoughts. And I wake up, I still remember several dreams that I had during this time, you know, when I spend more in partial solitude. I would wake up from a dream in which I was getting bullied. This was the dream. I was getting fucking bullied, and I felt helpless. I felt horrible. I saw the faces of the people who wanted to do me wrong, and they were horrible. And I wake up in the morning and I feel so fucking demoralized and so sad and so pissy about myself. So depressed, so anxious, so insecure. But I didn't have social media to just take the pain away. I didn't have any movies to take the pain away. I didn't have video games to take the pain away. I didn't have porn to take the pain away. I didn't have my stupid friends around to take the pain away. I was left with that pain by myself. I had to literally get myself out of bed in the morning at 6:30 a.m. I had to get myself out of bed, do my body weight exercises, go out for a run, and then come back, read, write for my story, eat clean, go for my second run of the day, and draw and do all kinds of other things. I had to literally, I had to push myself for doing all those things. Because in the morning, when I wake up, those mornings were the most awful. Because back then, I just felt like I could lie in bed and just die there. And yet, because I didn't have any other fucking distractions, nothing, my mind was clear. It was just based on it. It was based on the thoughts that were fucking me over. I managed to overcome them because I didn't have any other fucking distractions left and right, just ready to be indulged in. No, I took away that shit. And I was left with my own fucking mind and my own thoughts. And I fucking faced them. I faced my fears and I destroyed my trauma. I rebuilt my self-confidence, my self-esteem. From the fucking ground. From the shambles in which they were. I rebuilt them up. Stronger than ever before. My self-respect now is better than it was my entire fucking life. And I did that all by being in partial solitude. Not even full solitude, imagine that. No, in partial solitude. I still met my family and things. But bro, like just being in that period of like solitude, right? It changed my life. The fact that if I would have done that, bro, if I still had movies in my life, if I still had fucking, what would you call them? All kinds of fucking junk food, right? If I still had that, if I still had stupid friends around who just be like, oh, you want to go out today, bro? Come on, let's go out and let's watch this movie together, bro. Come on, let's go to McDonald's. If I had that shit, I'm pretty damn sure I wouldn't have gone on with self-improvement. I'd probably just stop at some point and be like, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, I've been pretty damn disciplined for a month. Cool, that's enough for me, man. Now I can get back to video games, and I can get back to the things that have screwed my life over for the past years, and never do anything else. But because of this solitude that I went through, I was able to change my life. You know, and no wonder why people now say that just simply being bored is actually good for you. And I'm going to tell you the exact same thing. Being bored is actually good for you. If you have times, bro, you'd be like, you always, there's a lot of people on self-improvement, they like take away all those bad habits, and they're like, yeah, let's go, and then they're left with nothing but some underlying silence in their own thoughts, and they're fucking scared out of their minds. They're like, okay guys, they literally just go fucking typing on Google, they're like, oh, what the hell can I do to fill up my time on self-improvement, and they get all of these kinds of fucking things. Bro, none of that. Stop. If you have extra time that you cannot fill up with any other activity that is actually worth your time, then just sit and think. Sit and fucking think. Go out for a damn walk in nature and look at yourself, look at your life. Sit in your damn boring fucking room with no distractions and look at your life. Think, take out all the fucking horrible things from your mind that you just kept escaping for so long, for so many years, and face them. Just like I faced my traumas. That would literally destroy my days. And so, how can you get rid of the harmful, meaningless people from your life? And I think this was a big factor of my solitude, my period of solitude in which I actually managed to do a lot of things. The fact that I just didn't have my friends, by the way, right? Those people that just made my life worse, the fact that I didn't have them around made everything so much better. And so, you need to understand that you with all those friends, you're all friends, not with each other. No, you're not friends with that. Imagine you're friends with this girl or this guy. You're not friends with the guy. Especially, you know, if you've known these people before and you guys used to play like video games together, you used to go out in the city and have a drink, or you used to go and pop a smoke, because kids do that nowadays. And like you used to go out in the city and go to McDonald's or something. You are not friends with each other. Because once you take away the McDonald's, once you take away the cigarettes, once you take away the alcohol, once you take away the video games, you look at each other like you're strangers. They might think to yourself, no, that's not me, bro, that's not me. That's fucking you, man. Take away the drugs, take away that one drug that you're friends with. And you'll notice that all of your friends who you thought were friends with you, they don't have any connection to you. They are connected to that drug. This is exactly what happened to me, right? Once I went to that partial solitude and I quit social media. I quit social media at that time. You know what I did? This was back, like, before that I quit video games and then I quit social media, right? And in that short period of time where I still had social media, but I wasn't playing video games, and I was still talking to my old Discord friends in my server, because back then I didn't know any better. What do you think happened? I was in the calls with those people that I thought they were my friends. I thought that I could trust my life on them. And guess what they were doing? They were in the voice call. They were playing War Thunder or Minecraft, or believe it, even worse, Genshin Impact. And they're playing all this fucking dog shit. They're playing video games. And I'm in the call with them and I'm just wondering, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm still talking to the same people who still play War Thunder, Unturned, Minecraft, all these kinds of video games that ruined my life, that made me addicted, that made me socially anxious, that made me incapable of looking a girl in the eye. Those people are still playing those things, and I'm fine with being around them. I thought to myself, no. Like, those people, we don't have anything else in common anymore. We are strangers to each other. And that's what we were. And so that motivated me to quit social media entirely, because I realized that once I took away the drug of video games that we used to spend thousands of hours on together, once I took away the drug of video games, I was left with myself and myself only, because those people, they weren't friends with me, they were friends with the drug. Let's be fucking honest. No bullshitting, man. You know, and you might think about all of this, be like, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah, I've realized that we're not all friends, we're not friends together, but they still want me around, and, you know, I see them all the time in school and everything, or in some other kind of place, right? And I see them all the time in person as well, and it would be weird for me to just kind of suddenly stop talking to them. You know, advantage was that, all these people, they weren't really in my close vicinity. So, me cutting contact with them, it meant nothing to me. Like, I could go on about my life just fine. But, maybe it's people that you have in school. Maybe it's people that you see on a daily basis. For that, I would tell you, start detaching away from them slowly. You detach away. You destroy, you slowly but surely destroy the connections that you've built over time. You probably know how to do that. You just gradually ghost the person. You gradually just stop replying to, hey, you want to go out tonight? Or maybe you say, yeah, I don't know, sorry, I'm busy. Hey, you want to play some video games? Come on the call, let's talk. No, sorry, I'm busy. Hey, do you still want to do this? No, sorry, I got something else going on. And then, before you know it, part ways. Before you know it, you're not going to be in school. You might still talk to each other. And this is the good part about this. This is the convenient part, that if you slowly detach, and it's something that it's not really like very sudden, those people, they're not going to be pissed off at you because they don't have the fucking mental awareness to understand what happened. They'll just think, okay, well, I don't know. We don't talk anymore. That's it. Or we just kind of talk in school, but we don't do anything else aside from that. That's the idea. You want to start slowly detaching away from them. Don't do the same activities. Stop spending time around them. Right? Literally, stop doing the same activities. Stop getting in the voice calls with them on Discord, bro. Stop going out with them and at parties. Stop going to fucking McDonald's completely. But stop eating junk food, bro. Stop going on social media because they're doing that as well. Stop spending time around them. Anything that they're doing, stop doing that. Simply just move on with your own damn life. And so I believe this is the best way that you can actually get rid of harmful, meaningless people from your life. But you might wonder, well, okay, good. You know, when you went into your period of solitude, you did this, but you also, aside from actually getting rid of those people in your life, you also got rid of the bad habits. You also got rid of the addictions that were fucking plaguing your life for so long. And I could go into so much more detail about this. Like, I have several fucking videos made about how to quit addictions. You can check those out if you want to. Quick plug-in. But I'll make it quick here. So how can you destroy the useless distractions from your life? All the stuff that's fucking just destroying you. The stuff that's just keeping you away and keeping you scared from a period of solitude, which will actually be the gateway to a better life. So you literally want to do, and remember, you want to, how I said, detach away from your friends, You do the same with this. You detach away from the environment for a little while. This is exactly how I started self-improvement, by the way. I'm from Romania, right? I went on a week-long trip to the UK. I went to the UK, and for a week I was there without any kind of the fucking distractions and the bullshit that was plaguing my mind, right? I didn't have video games, I didn't have porn, I didn't have girls in school, I didn't have shit friends, I didn't have anything, none of that. I was by myself and I was with the people that I was with, and I was in the week-long trip to the UK and I was visiting. That was what I was doing. And by detaching myself from that environment in which my life was shit, I got to realize what was happening, and I got to literally think, and I got to ponder and be rational about what I was doing with my life. And I managed to overcome my addictions entirely. A week gave me the momentum for more than a year and a half now. Probably for my entire life. A week. For my entire fucking life, a week's given me the momentum because I detached away from the environment. And this is also what I did in the period of solitude. I was not going to school at that time. No, and you might think to yourself, well, shit, I kind of, maybe it's not the summer break now, so I kind of have to go to school. Well, you go to school, but just try to detach as much as you possibly can from those people at all costs, at all times, right? Even when you're in school, just try not to be around them. Try not to be around the places or the people that might trigger you to just act like a fucking dumbass. Don't go into places which you know are bullshit for you. Like, detach away from them for a while and use this time that you've spent from being detached to think. Use this time to think about your fucking life. Don't use this time to just cover your eyes like this and act like a fucking pussy. No. Use this time to think about your life. Think about the way things are going for you, and think about the way that you could improve things. Think about that. And you'll naturally just come to the conclusions, yeah, I have to get rid of video games. Yeah, I have to get rid of social media. I have to get rid of all those fucking things that have been ruining my life. Yeah, I have to get rid of them. That is how it happened for me. A week of just thinking. A week of solitude, a week of just being away from my environment was enough to just give me momentum for more than 1.5 years of self-improvement. So this could be like an extra tip. Detach as much as you possibly can in your life. I made a video about that as well. Another quick plug. You can, I think it's the previous one, so you can watch that as well. And another thing that you want to do if you literally just want to become more self-aware of the shit that's ruining your life and actually destroy it, you want to open your mind up. And you have to keep it open and open it up to your doubts and fears. Because this is the shit, those are the things that literally made you scared of yourself. The things that made you terrified of yourself for the past God knows how long time. You've been just kind of like pushing that away. You've been pushing it aside all the time. You've been trying to hide it so that you don't have to think about it. But how, like, this is what I did in that period of time, in that solitude time when I was still struggling with some addictions to some extent. I was in solitude. I didn't have anything else. I opened my mind up. I kept it open. And I let all those thoughts of dark shit, I let all those insecurities and doubts and fears rush into my head. I let them get over me. I let them fucking make me struggle for a little while, and I faced them and I destroyed them. That's how I fucked up. That's how I destroyed my trauma that I had, and that I always believed that I just end up living with, and that it would just fuck me over for the rest of my life. No, I fucking faced it head on, no distractions, no nothing. I opened my mind, and I know this is gonna be fucking hard, man. It's even hard for me now sometimes to just open my mind up to different concepts, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Bro, if you want to change your life, then you have to open your mind and keep it open. You have to let all those fucking insecurities and problems that you've just always kept away, that you've always procrastinated on, let them come in and fucking destroy them on your own grounds. Because if you try to destroy them on their grounds, you're gonna fucking fail, because they know the terrain better than you do, dumbass. So you want to destroy them on your grounds, on your battlefield, in your own mind, because this is where you have control. This is where you can control yourself. And you can win the battle, and you can fuck them all over. So, you know, and you'll literally realize that all of those fears and doubts and problems, bro, you can literally just take them away. You can destroy them. You can literally make them disappear forever by taking away the shit that's actually distracting you right now. For me, oh shit, you know, I opened my mind. Okay, shit, I have like a very shit social situation. I'm scared of looking a girl in the eye. I've not had my first kiss yet. I'm almost 16. I feel kind of like shitty for it. I have all these kinds of things, and fuck, man, things are not going well. Things are not going well at all. Okay? Well, how can I fix that? Take away video games. Take away social media. Take away junk food. Get fit. Look good. And you might just get your first kiss. And that's exactly what happened. I did all those things. I destroyed the insecurities. I destroyed the doubts. I destroyed the problems that were plaguing my mind. Simple as that. I opened my mind. I saw the shit that was being thrown at me. And I thought to myself, okay, the only way to get rid of this problem is to take away all of those fucking distractions in my life. And that's exactly what I did, and that's how I quit my addictions. And so I firmly believe that a period of solitude can save your life. I believe that a good period of solitude in which you just spend time thinking, even if you can do this every day for a good amount of time, not just all the time. Maybe you can't really facilitate that, but let's say for a good amount of time every day, for like half an hour, 2 hours, even more, if you can fucking help it. Detach away from everything else. Detach away from everything in your life. Spend time on your own. Spend time on your own grounds, on your own terms, in your own mind. And you'll come to a lot of amazing conclusions about your life, and you'll make a lot of better, more rational, and wiser choices for yourself, for your future, for your long term. Solitude is gonna fucking change your life, man. That's all I have to say. You know, if you enjoyed this video, then why not subscribe or like the video, share it with other people. You know, if this video helped you out, if this video brought you value that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten somewhere else, then share this video with other people who you think deserve to see this. Share this video with people who you think would need this advice. Because this is how I live. I love doing this, man. Fucking love doing this. Knowing that at least I'm helping one person out there be a better fucking person, that's enough for me, man. You know, and maybe even knowing that there's actually more people that want to be better, like that's even better. That's amazing. So share this video around. That's the best way that you can help me. You can help me if you're actually willing to do that. That's all I had to say, man. I'll see you next time, bro. Good luck.